Hey YouTubers, fans and fishing. Give you a little rundown of where I'm at right now. I'm about 12, maybe 13, 14 nautical miles off the coast of Washington, out the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and it's early August. Having a great time fishing for king salmon. And how did I get here? I wanted to do a little review today on this thing, which is my paddle, my favorite paddle. It's been my favorite paddle for years. And my favorite paddle company, Werner paddles. Yes, they're a sponsor of mine. I've also owned Werner paddles for, wow, 30 years now. Is it? Now it's 1990? 27 years. 27 years since I've owned my first Werner paddle, and that paddle was made by the Werner brothers in their dad's garage, and their dad is named Werner. This is a family business. They've sponsored me now for 4 years, and they are outstanding paddles and a great family company. A lot of fishermen are in there building these paddles. They are great people in a town of Sultan, Washington, which is about 100 miles that way, and I can show you around out here to tell you I'm not kidding. I am literally in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and I'm paddling around for salmon early season. I wanted to talk about this paddle. It's 22 ounces. This is the Cyprus. It's my favorite paddle because the blade is a little smaller. I'm not a huge guy. I'm about 180 pounds. I have pretty fast paddle stroke. I like to paddle quite a bit, so I use a little smaller blade. The size is a little bit shorter over the years. I used to use a longer one, but as I get a little older, my shoulders get a little more crunchy, and I like a little shorter paddle. Takes just enough bite, works perfectly. What's amazing about these things is they are so strong for 22 ounces. Fantastic combination of strength and weight. Carbon fiber is not cheap, and it takes a lot to build them. They're all built by hand. I've seen how they've been built. And the cool thing about carbon fiber is it's got this texture, this natural texture that's just like a fine fish scale. You can barely feel it, but it just wicks water away from underneath your fingers while you're paddling. So it makes for a fantastic fishing paddle because you get slimy hands and wet hands all the time, and you're always back to gripping the paddle. And it's moving that water out away from underneath your fingers. And there's a ton of engineering in the blade, how it's shaped, how the water flows off of it. What it all adds up to is an enormous amount of efficiency for these paddles. And I'm no spring chicken. I've been kayaking since I was 7 years old. I've been kayak fishing since I was 7 years old. And a couple days ago I turned 52 years old. So I'm not young anymore. But I can still come out here for 12-hour days and fish in the middle of the Pacific Ocean because I have 22 ounces in my hands. That's it. It's all about swing weight. It's all about fatigue. If I had 32, 36 ounces in my hand, I would be done in 4 or 5 hours of this stuff. I kid you not. 22 ounces in my hand, 12 hours today. I'll be back out here 12 hours again tomorrow. Makes a huge difference. So I know it's expensive. You spend a lot of money on your fishing kayak and you think, it's just a paddle. What's a paddle? Paddle's everything. This is the part that moves. This is what you work with all day long when you're out here fishing. This. So my advice, if you haven't tried a really high quality paddle, and this is the absolute best of high quality paddles, I'd go with the carbon fiber. Even go to your local kayak shop and sells them, and see if you can demo them, see if you can borrow a buddy's. I've got one here. I've got one on the back deck for a spare. My buddy who's over there, I don't know if you can see him he's got one in his hands. He's got one on the back deck. So there's 4 of these carbon fiber paddles out here, a couple 100 yards away in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So that's what I've got to say for my review on the Cyprus Werner's Hooked on Fishing series. Fantastic paddle. It's changed the way I am growing old with kayak fishing, and I love it. Thanks, guys.